1925 was an interesting year. It was the year that the first public television transmission was made, the year that The Great Gatsby was published, and the year that A. Philip Randolph organized the Brotherhood of Sleeping Cars, the first black labor union to be recognized by the American Labor Federation. It was also the year when the Ku Klux Klan marched in D.C., and when Hitler published Mein Kampf. And it was amid this tension that this historic World Series was played between two titans of Negro League baseball. And in the 1925 season, they were both at the top of their game in their respective leagues, the Negro National League and the Eastern Colored League. Before the World Series would take place, both teams would have to compete for their league championships. For the Monarchs, this meant fighting through several teams in the Negro National League, in a season that was split into two halves. The first half started April 27th and ran until July 8th, and the second half ran from July 11th to September 16th. The Monarchs became number one in the league on May 26th, beating out the American Giants, who started out leading the league, and the Detroit Stars, who were the next team to have the lead. The St. Louis Stars narrowed the lead, but they weren't able to overcome the Monarchs, who won their first half title defeating the Cuban Stars West 2-1 on June 29th. But the Monarchs would fall to the second place in the second half of the season around September, when the St. Louis Stars swept them in 4 games. The Negro National League then scheduled a best-of-9 series, with the Monarchs facing the Stars in a battle that would determine who would advance to the Colored World Series. For this series, which was played in late September, the first 3 games would be played in St. Louis, while the next 3 would be played in Chicago. Chicago became the place that the Monarchs held their home games because the Kansas City Blues were using the Monarchs' home stadium at the time, a practice that was pretty common among some Negro League teams, who would borrow stadiums from major league and minor league teams to play their games. The Monarchs would go on to win the first game 8-6 with the help of Bullet Rogan, who pitched for a complete game with home runs from New Allen, Dobie Moore, and Frank Duncan. The Stars won the second game 6-3 with the help of Roosevelt Davis, Branch Russell, Willie Wells, and Cool Papa Bell. The third game was delayed due to rain and caused the league managers to decide to shorten the series to a best of 7 games rather than a best of 9 games. When the third game was finally played, the St. Louis Stars won 3-2, thanks to home runs from Dewey Creasy and Papa Bell, who also had an RBI double in this game. But Kansas City came back in the fourth game, winning the match 5-4 with the help of Bullet Rogan, who sealed the deal with a game-winning single in the 9th inning. St. Louis won the next game, scoring 2 runs in the 9th inning. The final 2 games of this series was a doubleheader, with the Monarchs winning both of these games with the help of William Bell in the first game and Bullet Rogan in the second, winning the league championship and securing a spot to play in the Colored World Series with a chance to defend their championship title. Hilldale's road to the Colored World Series began with them fighting to win the pennant for the Eastern Colored League, which, unlike the Negro National League, who had a 50-game season, played 70 games that year. Early in that season, Hilldale would take a narrow lead with a 9-2 record that was briefly taken by the Harrisburg Giants. The two teams would duke it out in a 2-game series, with the first game going to Hilldale and the second game being awarded to Harrisburg. The game itself was called due to rain, and at the time it was called, Harrisburg was leading the game 6-2. But despite his win, Oscar Charleston, the manager and star center fielder for the Giants, complained to the press, alleging that the umpires were being more favorable to Hilldale. Specifically, he was against the way that the umpires called the game. This caused Ed Bolden, owner of the Hilldale Club and chairman of the Eastern Colored League, to push back, saying that it was in fact Charleston's team that really benefited from the umpire's decisions. Shortly after this, Harrisburg took the league for a month before Hilldale regained the lead in July. Hilldale continued to widen their league into early September, and, clinching the league championship, they ended their season 45-13, while Harrisburg finished second place at 37-18. With the championships of both the Eastern Colored League and the Negro National League having been decided, the stage was now set for the second Negro League World Series to commence. Rube Foster announced that the series would be the best 5 out of 9 games, with the first 4 games to be played at the home of the Negro National League champions before moving on to Philadelphia for the next 3 games.